All right, welcome back. Yeah, it's the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. August 12th, our show is expanding an hour. We're going 9 a.m. to noon. Monday, August 12th, folks. And I did mention Michael Avenatti will be joining us coming up here at the top of the hour. I might be getting in the ring with Michael Avenatti today. I don't know, because he is a Joe Biden supporter. And if you didn't watch what happened, some people don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. When he shakes Kamala Harris's hand before the debate starts, maybe he didn't know the mics were on, and he says, "Take it easy on me, kid." That shows a tremendous amount of weakness. And if he does that with Donald Trump, it is over before it starts. This is not the person that should be leading the Democratic Party right now. And I believe Kamala Harris is wiping the floor with them clean again tonight, as she did in debate number one. This man is not fit to defeat Donald Trump. We're also talking about reparations. I talked about how they talked about it at the debate last night. They talked about it tonight. Up to $500 billion in reparations for African Americans. Utterly ridiculous, insane, whatever you want to call it. I just completely disagree with it. I know Republicans will be on my side on this one, but I just think it's wrong. I think it sets a really bad precedent. What are we going to do for Jews in this country because of the Holocaust? 7 million Jews died. So every German person that was born in Germany that lives in this country, should they be paying higher taxes? And I mean, it's just ridiculous. We could go on and on. We're taking your calls at 702-257-5396, but I want to switch topics quickly, and I want to talk about this. You know, especially Republicans, but I haven't heard a lot of people say anything negative about Ronald Reagan, right? Certainly no one's called Ronald Reagan a racist. At least I've never heard that. You know, we know Donald Trump has said some pretty bad things that you could be construed as racism, but Ronald Reagan? So some audio came out today, a private conversation that Ronald Reagan was having on the telephone, and I want to play it for you because, again, this is the man that the Republicans hold high on the pedestal.
I tell you, to watch that thing on television as I did, to see those monkeys from those African countries.
Okay, so it's hard audio to listen to because it was on a phone, but I'm going to quote exactly what he said.
That was rough.
He said he called African Americans monkeys from African countries. That is Ronald Reagan. It has already been verified. And then he goes on to talk about the shoes that they wear, and that it was just a really weird, bizarre comment. What would you say about somebody like that? Forget about Ronald Reagan for a second. You run into a guy. Maybe you're sitting next to the guy at a bar. You don't know him from a hole in the wall. And he's talking about African Americans, and he says, you know, monkeys from African countries. If you just heard somebody say something like that, what would you say about a person like that? What would you call that person? You'd probably call that person a racist. And I know people are going to say, "Oh, Brian, you just throw that word around left and right." If you call an African American a monkey, that is a racist comment. You know, is it as bad as the N-word? No, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's pretty bad. I don't want to say anything nice about the guy, ever. I don't want to say anything nice about someone that would call an African American a monkey. I don't want to hear Republicans defend this guy anymore. Don't care whether he's alive or not. Don't care when he said it. I don't care if it was in the 60s or 2019. You call an African American a monkey from African countries, that is a racist statement. It is disgusting. And where are the Republicans now? Why are they not talking about this? Certainly Democrats are. They're shocked, they're stunned, they're disappointed. You know, you name the phrase. And it's what Pete Buttigieg said last night in the debate. Johnny, can you roll that back? Do you still have that audio? I want to play what Pete Buttigieg said last night in the debate, which I thought was the best statement in the entire debate.
And if you are watching this at home and you are a Republican member of Congress, consider the fact that when the sun sets on your career and they are writing your story of all the good and bad things you did in your life, the thing you will be remembered for is whether in this moment with this president you found the courage to stand up to him or you continue to put party over country.
There are many people out there like Mitch McConnell, for example, who put party over country. It doesn't mean you have to get in front of the camera and say, "I believe Donald Trump is a racist." I don't believe that's what Pete Buttigieg is saying. It's certainly not what I'm saying. But what you do have to say is the president made some horrible remarks that could be construed as racist remarks. It is inappropriate, Mr. President. It needs to stop. But they're afraid. Now, what are they afraid of, you might say, Brian? Well, they're afraid of losing their position in office. One of my favorite movies is Casino. Robert De Niro says it in his movie. He says these politicians, once they get in office, they live their comped life. And there's a scene where he's comping one of these politicians, Lefty Rosenthal, in his Casino. And he's absolutely right. Why do I bring up that comment? Why do I bring up Casino? Because many of these Republicans are looking out for themselves instead of, that they want their comped life for the rest of their life instead of standing up.
And it was shot in Vegas.
Yes, it was. Standing up for what is right. That is what Pete Buttigieg is talking about. And he's absolutely right, and that is why I support the man. He's not perfect. He also believes in reparations.
I'll tell you this, calling African Americans monkeys is significantly more racist than anything Donald Trump has done so
That's
far.
horrendous. How can any...
Significantly more racist.
It is horrendous.
You can't even argue against it.
Horrendous. Look, I have been going after...
And Ronald Reagan, he was a very, very respected president from partisan.
Both sides.
Both sides, absolutely.
Okay, but what I was saying was for the first 25 minutes of this show, I have been blasting Democrats. I was disappointed with the debate last night. I'm disappointed with Joe Biden starting off a debate before he's even in front of the microphone, shaking Kamala Harris's hand and saying, "Take it easy on me, kid." You want to talk about weakness. And then people on social media that are defending him, people on social media that are defending him are saying, well, he was just joking. He was being charming.
I think he was being condescending, actually.
Perhaps. I can see that with him. I could definitely see that. But listen, again, first 25 minutes, I'm talking about how disappointed I am with the Democrats. I want to hear from some Republicans. How disappointed are you in the fact that Ronald Reagan, who many people still admire to this day for a lot of different reasons, would use the term monkeys in describing African Americans? Are there any Republicans out there that actually have the guts to say, oh, my God, this is horrific, it's wrong, it's a racist statement? The number to call, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-257-5396.
And it goes back to the levels of racism. You say send her back is racist. I say calling someone a monkey is racist. I say calling someone the N-word is much more racist than anything else.
They're all racist. They're all racist statements.
Monkey and the N-word is significantly more racist than send her back.
But there
could be so many more connotations attached to it.
But JD.
So the silver lining to this is that Donald Trump has said nothing or done anything like this.
Not true. He told people to go back to their country.
He's never called anybody a monkey.
So because he's never called anybody a monkey, he must not be a racist? I don't understand what you're saying.
He's never used any racial slurs.
So because he hasn't used any racial slurs, he can't be a racist? I don't agree with you.
He's never compared any races to jungle animals. His son has, but he hasn't.
So but he's told people to go back to their country. How is that not racist? We're talking about race. This involves race. He said, go back to your country.
He told people that were complaining about the United States in a roundabout way.
They were talking about policy.
If you don't like it here very much, go back to where you come from. Go back to where your origins are, where things aren't going are not going very well, which is 100% true.
It's not the exact quote.
Obviously,
that he used.
His phrasing isn't great. It never is. He's a very, very informal, blunt president. That's been established.
These people coming through
what Ronald Reagan did was twice as bad as what anything Donald Trump has done.
These people crossing the borders, they're rapists, they're bad people, and I suppose some of them are good people. That's what he said about Mexicans crossing the border. There are good people on both sides, Charlottesville. He tells 4 women of color to go back to their country, 3 of whom were born in this country. These were not white women. If he tells a white woman to go back to her country, then we can have that conversation.
So you're saying those statements were just as bad as Ronald Reagan referring to African Americans as monkeys?
I don't understand why I need to say, well, that comment was just as bad as that comment. The bottom line is they're both wrong. And they both can be construed as racist, and it shouldn't be tolerated from the President of the United States, whether that was 50 years ago or today. It shouldn't be tolerated. Now, does somebody have to say the N-word for it to be construed as racist and for Republicans to step up to the plate? No, I don't think so. I don't think we should have to level. Well, that's more racist than that comment. What Donald Trump said was wrong, and many Republicans, what Pete Buttigieg is talking about, the Republicans are not standing up saying, Mr. President, that needs to stop. Now, some of them are, but a small minority of them are. It's wrong. The number to call, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call, 257-5396, if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Janice. Janice, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good, Janice. What do you think about this?
Hi, Janice.
Good. I never liked Reagan. I thought he was a fake 100%. I'm a Republican, but I will tell you this. I will tell you that Hillary Clinton herself said that they all looked the same to her. And not one Democrat stood up and said anything against her. So,
I want to understand. I want to understand what quote you're talking about, because I am completely unaware of her saying that. You're saying she was describing.
Well, she did, because I'm 72 years old.
Yeah.
I've known Hillary Clinton. I've heard of her for years, watched her, and she has said, and you can look it up. I can't tell you the exact date, but she has made several comments about they all look the same to her. Al Sharpton has made very bad comments also.
I believe Al Sharpton's a racist. I've always said that about Al Sharpton.
Hillary Clinton is a racist.
Okay, well, I don't
believe it or not.
Okay, let me ask you: do you think Donald Trump is a racist?
No, I do not.
So,
and I'll tell you why.
Okay,
I'll tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, he married a foreign girl.
Doesn't mean he's not a racist.
Doesn't matter. She's
right.
from another country.
You're right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean she's not.
Second of all, he told Omar to go back because Omar is from Somali. She came in the country and married her brother.
Don't know if that's true or not.
It will come out.
No.
It's becoming increasingly obvious.
First of all, Janice, it's not proven to be true. That's number one.
They will prove it.
Hold on. What about the other three women What about the other three women of color who were born in this country?
Well, second of all, that Tlaib, whatever her name is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She went to all the rallies when Trump was running, and she was going nuts to the rallies.
So
it's
what?
All on video.
So what? Doesn't
Wait
mean
a
tell.
minute.
So what?
She's there. Listen, she wanted to swear in on the instead of the Bible, she wanted to swear in on her Quran.
Okay, well that's her religion. That's her religion.
We don't allow that here in this country.
So let me understand this. You have a problem with her at a rally, at a Trump rally, and for that reason, you're justifying the president saying go back to your country.
Listen, I know what he meant because I'm 72
you know
years
what
old.
You know what he meant.
My best friend is Argentinian.
Uh-huh.
She came in this country legal through the port of entry. My grandparents came from Italy, but they came in legally through the port of entry.
And guess what? These four women are legal citizens of the United States. So what is your point?
But the brother.
You keep talking about Omar, and I don't support Omar, but there's no proof. It hasn't been verified.
It will be.
Okay,
it will
fine,
be coming out.
fine. Then you know what? When that happens, we could address this conversation again.
Fine.
Hold on. I'm talking about the three women. Hold on.
For the record.
I'm talking about the three women who were born in this country.
Keep it up.
They're anti-American.
Oh, so because you think it's anti... How about when Donald Trump ran on We're Going to Make America Great Again, and he was talking about the policies...
Let me tell you something, because you have a lot to learn, too, because I've listened to your show.
Okay, no, I don't. With all due respect, I think I'm doing just fine, Janice. You don't know what racism is. No, you have a lot to learn.
Not.
No. Just because you're 72.
So
just because you're 72 doesn't mean you know anything. So don't you give me that garbage.
I know a lot more than you.
Oh, really? You know what? You don't know anything about racism. You're not capable of calling out the president for being for saying something that is wrong.
Trump is not a racist.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of 72-year-olds that are KKK members. I hate to tell you that.
You are racist.
Oh, really? What have I ever said on this show that's racist? Go ahead.
You are racist.
Give me one comment I've ever said on this show that's racist. Go. Give me one thing I've ever said on the show.
Trump. Why don't you admit it?
Donald Trump is white, you dummy. Get off my show. You think I'm a racist towards white people, you moron? I'm a racist. Give me one reason why I'm a racist. Oh, because you hate Trump. You're 72, and that's your IQ. Let's go to Fidel. I want to take Fidel's calls next. Fidel, what's going on?
Hey, Fidel.
But I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Brian.
Brian. Hey, Brian. You know, listening to your opening monologue before you started taking calls.
Yes, sir.
And I was compelled to call you because I'm half black and half Latino. I'm half black, half Mexican, and I support this administration. I support our president.
Okay.
And I have, to this day, never heard this man say anything as a black and a Latino that is racist.
So
now I've been called. Okay. Allow me to finish. I have been called many things from many people that are racist.
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced racism in its truest form, physically, psychologically, my entire life. I'm 50 years old.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you, these comments about Trump being racist and using words to say, that's a whistle, a dog whistle for all the other racist people that are out there. Oh, that term, it's
not a dog whistle. It's not a dog whistle.
Term.
Okay, Fidel, with all due respect, do you know a little bit about Trump's history? The housing issues that he had, the money that he's paid out to African Americans for discrimination? As a half African-American man. I believe that's what you said. You don't have a problem with that?
No, you know why?
You don't have a problem with discrimination?
Let me finish. You asked me a question. Let me finish.
That's just ridiculous. Go ahead.
As an attorney, there are certain circumstances in which it is more economically feasible to settle a frivolous lawsuit than to actually litigate.
I'm sure you're probably right, Fidel.
Wait. Let me finish. Let's not divert.
He probably did nothing wrong. You're right.
The other thing that you said earlier, which is completely factually incorrect.
What's that?
Is the president has never said the comment that the Democrats are clinging to is there are good people on both sides.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Immediately following that, he said, and I'm not talking about white supremacists, KKK.
Wasn't immediately following that.
Should be condemned.
It wasn't. You're not being. With all due respect.
Say that part.
Excuse me. You're wrong. He didn't say that right after those comments. Number one, and number two, he told 4 women of color to go back to their countries. 3 of them were in this country, and for you to say that there is no racial connotations to that and it can't be construed as racist, quite frankly, I could not disagree with you more.
I didn't say it can't be construed as racist because you basically, in your mind, your perception is your reality. And it makes more sense to you, even though you have to go through some.
No, you're wrong. I just go by his quotes. No, you're wrong. What are you talking about? I've just taken his quotes.
How is it possible that a person of color,
what are you talking about?
Don't find this man racist, and yet you're so compelled?
I take his quotes. I read his quotes every day, Fidel. Fidel.
Let other people talk.
No, it doesn't make me feel good. No, it doesn't.
To call him a racist.
No, it doesn't. You know what? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. See, that's where you're wrong.
As a white person, you feel empowered.
Okay, so now you're a racist. So now you're a racist. See, so now you just said something that is completely and utterly ignorant. You just said, you're getting inside my head, and you just said, Fidel, that you think that it makes me feel good to call somebody a racist. First of all, in this entire hour, I haven't called the president a racist. I've said the things he said has been construed as racist comments.
No. Okay, don't tiptoe around it. A racist person makes racist
Excuse
comments.
me, I'm not tiptoeing around anything. Excuse me. I'm not trying. Listen, I know you're a really smart attorney, and you want to have a debate. I know.
You believe that white privilege exists. And that is another form of racism.
Okay, so now you want to. I noticed.
Good.
Okay, let me know when you're done.
Feel good as a white person.
You know what? I think it makes you feel good that you're an African American. You do call into this show and you think you know everything that you're talking about when it comes to Trump. That he can't be arrested. No. I just made an assumption about you. How does it feel? I think it makes you feel good. I think it makes you. I think it makes you feel good. I think it makes. No. What kind of attorney are you? What kind of attorney are you?
That doesn't make a difference.
No, answer the question. You coward. Answer the question. You coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. What kind of attorney are you? Why don't you tell me what kind of attorney you are? You're a frivolous lawsuits. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you listen to me? Answer the question. Answer the question. What kind? Answer the question. I'm going to hang up on you. What kind of attorney are you? Answer the question.
Brian,
okay, goodbye.
I think you need a sandwich.
Goodbye.
I think you need a bite to eat.
No, I'm having fun with the guy.
Sure?
The guy made assumptions about me.
You are very, very animated today.
The guy made assumptions about me that are factually not accurate. It doesn't make me feel good to call somebody a racist. I call it out when I see it, and I'm being honest. And we'll try to get to some more phone calls when we come back, but we do have Michael Avenatti coming up next, so we'll have to take a break. We'll be back right after this. We'll ask Michael Avenatti about all this stuff and more. And we will take your calls, but you're going to have to hang tight for a little bit. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN.